Okay, let's dive into this explainer covering the sheer, thrilling unpredictability of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. I mean, we're jumping right into match day 5 today, and let me tell you, it was a day that absolutely defied expectations. It shook up the group standings entirely, and it also gave us some really vital off-pitch news that you definitely need to know about.
So what actually happens when a nation of just 500,000 people takes on a massive European football giant? If you're thinking it's a guaranteed blowout, well, you clearly didn't watch Matchday 5. We witnessed a massive clash between tournament debutants Cabo Verde and the heavily favored Spanish national team. And the result? Honestly, it was nothing short of historic.
Let's contextualize exactly what we're looking at here. On one side, you've got Spain. They're ranked number 2 in the entire world by FIFA and came into the tournament as the reigning Euro 2024 champions. On the other side, Cabo Verde, ranked 67th globally, tiny population, making their absolute first appearance on the World Cup stage. The gulf between these two contenders on paper was absolutely massive, like a real David and Goliath situation.
And this brilliantly illustrates the absolute chaos that defined Matchday 5. It literally became the ultimate day of draws. Spain was held 0-0 by Cabo Verde in an A-grade upset, but they weren't the only heavyweights to stumble, not by a long shot. Belgium was held 1-1 by Egypt. Iran and New Zealand fought to a 2-2 stalemate, and Saudi Arabia and Uruguay ended 1-1. That is 4 major footballing nations, all unexpectedly held back by massive underdogs or fierce rivals. It completely flips the script on what we expected from these groups.
5 million. Just let that number sink in for a second. That represents the brand new Instagram follower account for Cabo Verde's 40-year-old veteran goalkeeper, Vozinha. Before this match, he had about 46,000 followers, but after he put on just a Herculean performance, literally saving all 7 of Spain's shots on target to secure that sport-shaking point for his nation, his digital presence exploded. It just goes to show you how one single game on this stage can completely change a player's life overnight.
To truly grasp the magnitude of what Cabo Verde just pulled off, let's compare the ranking gaps in historic World Cup upsets. You might remember the 2010 stunner where South Africa beat France. That had a 74-spot ranking gap. Well, Cabo Verde's 0-0 draw with Spain comes in right behind it with a 65-spot gap. Based on FIFA rankings, this result officially sits as the 4th biggest upset in the tournament's entire history. It's an absolute masterclass in why we play the game on the pitch and not on a spreadsheet.
Transitioning from those stunning team results, let's give some well-deserved credit to the standout individual stars who really thrived in all that chaos. The superior player of the match honors for these dramatic stalemates went to Vozinha for Cabo Verde, naturally. Imam Ashur took it for Egypt after his incredible opening strike against Belgium. Ramin Rezayan earned it for Iran in their 2-2 thriller, and Federico Valverde secured the honor for Uruguay. These guys stepped up when the pressure was at its absolute peak.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is an incredible piece of trivia regarding the Egyptian star Mohamed Salah. By assisting Imam Ashur's opening goal against Belgium, Salah actually became the first African player on record since 1966 to register a World Cup goal involvement on his birthday. It's just an amazing stat and, honestly, a brilliant birthday treat for a player who continues to carry so much weight and expectation for his national team.
Let's actually map out the pacing of the goals across this crazy match day, because the speed at which momentum shifted was just wild. Just 6 minutes into Germany's match against Curacao, Felix Nemeka found the back of the net. That's the fastest goal of the tournament so far, kicking off a massive 7-1 blowout. Compare that lightning-fast strike to Egypt's goal at 19 minutes by Ashur. That one held for almost the entire game, until Romelu Lukaku subbed in and desperately equalized for Belgium in the 87th minute, literally just 22 seconds after stepping onto the pitch. The timing of these goals dictates everything about how these teams survive the group stages.
Right, so with Matchday 5 officially in the books, we turn our attention to Group I, which is really shaping up to be the next major battleground of the tournament. You can feel the tension building already, and the heavyweights in this pool are waiting in the wings to take the pitch.
Let's take a walk through the starting baseline for this highly competitive pool. We've got France sitting at a really formidable FIFA ranking of 3. Senegal is ranked 15th, Norway at 31st, and Iraq at 57th. Now, everyone is starting from scratch with 0 points, but this mix of European powerhouses, an African champion, and a really hungry Asian side, it makes this group incredibly dangerous. The margins for error here are razor thin.
Looking at how these clashes are going to unfold over the next 10 days, you can really see how quickly the momentum can shift. On June 16th, things kick off with France versus Senegal and Iraq taking on Norway. By June 22nd, the cross matches begin, and by the final match day on June 26th, with Norway playing France and Senegal facing Iraq, the entire group could be flipped on its head. Every single point over these 10 days is going to be an absolute war. And looking specifically at that June 16th clash, wow, there's a massive historical shadow hanging over this game. The last time France and Senegal met in a major tournament was actually the opening match of the 2002 World Cup. France were the defending champions at the time, and Senegal stunned them with a historic 1-0 upset. You can bet both squads know this history inside and out, which just adds this incredibly thick layer of narrative tension to their upcoming matchup.
Let's move to and see how this builds into the off-pitch side of things, because there's crucial news happening behind the scenes that runs parallel to all the action on the grass. We're tracking some important administrative updates and digital archive developments right now. Turning to a matter of tournament administration and discipline, the Anti-Discrimination Monitor, known as the FAIR Network, released a statement regarding an Australian VAR official. In their statement, they noted, "Clearly this official should have no further role to play in this World Cup." The network requested the official's removal due to a gesture made during a broadcast, which they allege resembles a white supremacist symbol. Now, according to the source reports, the gesture in question occurred during the pre-game broadcast of Germany's opening match against Curaçao. The official broadcast cut to the team of video review analysts, which then prompted the swift statement from the FAIR Network to FIFA. The matter highlights the intense scrutiny placed on all tournament officials, both out there on the field and inside the video review centers. Pivoting for a second to a clever meta-integration regarding the digital sports archives we all rely on, especially during a massive event like the World Cup. I mean, think about how many millions of people are pulling up Wikipedia right now for tournament stats, historical context, or group standings. Yet, despite millions of us relying on this data constantly, only 2% of readers actually donate to support the foundation. The vast majority, 98%, do not. To briefly break down where those requested $2.75 donations actually go, 45% is allocated directly to the technology infrastructure. That's the critical server power necessary to host massive global events like real-time World Cup coverage without the whole site just crashing. Another 32% goes to volunteer support, 12% to fundraising, and 11% to general administration. It's a pretty fascinating look at the back-end engine that keeps our sports data accessible and free for everyone following the tournament.
So, the crucial point is that between the digital engines keeping us informed, the strict administrative oversight off the pitch, and the sheer chaos happening on it, this tournament is operating at a breathless pace, with Matchday 5 proving definitively that no team is safe which heavyweight footballing giant will be the next to fall. Keep that in the back of your mind as we head into the next round of fixtures, because if Cabo Verde taught us anything at all, it's that absolutely anything is possible.